Good morning, everybody. I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful evening. I feel the energies are starting to subside a little bit. They've been kind of crazy, but we do have the next portal coming, so make sure you're getting well rested, grounded, get out in nature, soak in a hot bath because we have the 1010 portal ready to shake things up. If you go to my YouTube channel, probably tomorrow I should have a activation for the 1010 portal to help you ground all these crazy energies. That will be on my spiritual channel, Silver Fox Spiritual, over on YouTube. So with that, let's get the energies today of our collective that's in separation, whether you label that as love, twin flame, divine counterpart, soulmate. It's just a label, but let's see what the energies are for the collective for today, Spirit. And Spirit is saying emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. And this is a tough one, right? Because, we get hurt, we get put through trauma, and, naturally we feel a little bit resentful. Why do we feel resentful? Because we got hurt, right? And so what Spirit is trying to tell us is to release that hurt, release that resentment, release that anger, because that's really what it is. It's anger. And what is anger? It's just fear, right? And so as we release that, then we start to allow that to get out of our body, and we allow love to be able to float back in again. It's just releasing density. Give yourself some compassion. Um, Reach out to your friends for support, but it's okay. You can have emotions, and it's okay to be emotional because that is how we release the energies that no longer serve us. So, with that, let's see what other energies that we have today for the collective and separation. And remember that this is a general reading, a reading for the collective. Things may or may not resonate. I actually had a comment last night from one of my YouTube viewers on the replay, and she was like, well, you told me my twin is not my twin. Well, I didn't say that. I just tell you what the energies are saying. And, you have to look at it from a generic perspective, right? There are a lot of us are stuck on what we call a catalyst twin. And the catalyst twin is one because twins aren't always just one person. I know a lot of people teach you that, and only your own person, but really it's about resonation of frequency. And as you rise in frequency, as you heal, you get more and more options available to you that match. You may not get the number of options that you have now because a lot more people are sitting in trauma than they are within the space of healing. So those matches are going to be a high frequency match, which means that they're going to be deeper and stronger. And you may decide to stay with one of those matches, or you may decide to wait until you get to the one that's the highest frequency. Where we always get stuck, and it's a trap, is by focusing on a single individual. And that's why we say, release your person, surrender it to the universe, because that person may be your person or may not be your person. And if it is your person, they'll do their own healing, and they'll come back with the energetics that match you again once you guys are in those energetic matches, and you can then rebuild that relationship. There's always a possibility of that, but by holding on to it and not letting it go, you're actually blocking it because you're holding on to a past version of that person, in which case you're holding on to the past trauma. And this is the important part. Once you hold on to that past trauma, you close all doors, you lock all doors, then you take the windows and the handle off, and it becomes a wall. And you have the potential of not finding anybody. And it's a cold, hard truth that you can only change you. So you work on you, you release all those traumas, and you will let the universe bring in what's meant for you, right? And that could be that person that you were fixated on, but as you release them and then as you intend to heal the trauma, then you will get into the place where the possibility exists again for you to be into a union with that person. And I hope that makes sense. Sorry about the rant before the cards, but I think it definitely just needed to be said because, even myself, I've fallen into this trap. A lot of us have, and it can take years for you to get out of it until you realize you're trapped. So with that, let's see what the cards are telling us today. So the cards are saying all true soul connections involve challenges that can be overcome together, right? And that's a challenge, right? You have to get out of the illusion. You have to get into the reality of, what is it that you really want, and what is your trauma? Because, as we heal the trauma, we become more magnetic and we attract the things that are meant for us in the right frequency. Enlightenment. With enlightenment, there's no separation. We recognize we're one with the divine. And why is that, right? Because we're now understanding that, everything that we want is already there at a version somewhere. But because we're so clouded with those emotions of regret, of what do you call it, resentment, anger, that we get stuck in these challenges. And we want to free ourselves from those challenges and connect back to ourselves. Right? Dreams. Share your dreams together. And again, dream the dream. Make that a reality. And how do you do that? By going in with yourself and releasing all these trauma we've had for millions and billions of lifetimes. And guess what? Embrace, because you got a loving connection that wants to come in. It's there. It's right there. See the two hearts? They're right there. Embrace what destiny has in store because it's there. And guess what? There is a high level commitment coming in if you allow it. But you got to get rid of all the negative emotions around love, around connections. And let me tell you something, it's not easy. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to lie to anybody and say it's easy and you're going to do it in a day. But it all starts with intention. You have to intend to heal, because if you don't intend to heal, you won't. It's a choice. I'm a little bit harsher than most of these twin flame readers who will tell you about your twin that's doing all these awful things. We don't care about it in this reading in my group. What we care about is how do we change our energetics to get to the place we want, because that's really all that matters, right? It's how do you get yourself healed enough to find that special person, whoever it is. If it's that person that you have in your mind, great. And if it's not, so what? Because again, as you release it, you find what's really meant for you. Yeah, today's I guess, a lecture day for me. Getting these rants. Apologize for anybody who just wants a reading, but here we go. So let's see what other love energy Spirit wants to tell us today. Spirit's been running me through the ringer for the past 3 or 4 days, myself on my own healing journey. So, it is, none of us are, shall we say, immune to the healing process. And none of us are healed enough to actually have exited the process because we're all still here. All we can do is hold space for our fellow beings and try to help guide and show where the energies are so you can make your own decisions. So Spirit's again saying there's a lasting love that's right there for you. It's waiting. It's at the door. Free yourself. You need to free yourself from the challenges. And when you do, somebody's going to be reaching out. And I got this morning, too, on my morning energy read, Holiday. Spirit's asking you to take a little bit of a change of energy, a change of perspective. Holiday generally means get out of your norm. Because once you do, you're going to start following your true spirit path, and that's really where we want to be. We want to be in our true spirit path. We want to follow this. And if you notice today, look at how weighted we are over here to the good. It's there. It's waiting. It's right there, ready to manifest. So let's see what's going on in the situation around us. Let's see what those energies are that are waiting to manifest themselves, but haven't done that yet. And so let's see why. And let's see what the energies around that connection are. Just got to figure out which deck I wanted to use. I got a stack load of decks, more than I can count. And some days I'm guided to one versus the other. So let's see what we have in the energies today, Spirit, on this connection and separation. And just remember, this is a general reading for the collective. If you are looking for your own personal situation, which will be like surgical and sighted in like a laser focused, you can reach out. I do personal readings. They're up in the top. And again, even in my personal reading, I'm not, if you want, I can tell you what your twin is doing. But honestly, I really want to tell you how to get out of whatever challenge that you're in, show you what that challenge is, because most don't show you what the challenge is either. They just keep on letting you loop and make the same decision over and over again. And, all that decision does is take you to a path that's not where you want to be. And we don't want to do that. We want to make healthy choices. And, how do we make healthy choices? By being aware, right? And once you're aware of what your blockages are, then you can start taking that awareness and setting intention to stop and to heal that blockage, right? Thinking, missing you, craving you, desiring you, right? And your person is. And somebody's ready to give you that apology that you want, right? Forgiveness return. So that's possible reunion for your person. Bluff. Some of you are still in that challenge of wearing a mask, right? And we always say this: you can't wear a mask. You have to be vulnerable, even at risk of having your heart hurt. It's better to know who you are, say who you are. If you want to heal, you heal for yourself. You don't heal for anybody else. You don't change yourself for anybody else other than yourself. And that's why being aware of what your traumas are what's helping you. If you try to change somebody, again, doesn't work. So the cards are saying, again, that's two returns, apology and return. So somebody is coming back into your energy. And now it's up to you to see, is this person in that space over here of the challenges where they're still the same one that they were before, or have they come into the same alignment that you have? Because that return can be either you're both not, when they return, it means that you're in alignment, but is the alignment because you've healed, or is the alignment because you haven't healed and we're still in the same trauma space? And that's where you have to use your discernment and check to see how that discernment goes, right? Healing, releasing, purifying, cleansing. And again, Spirit's guiding you to do that healing. Make sure that you're getting rid of all those traumas. And how do you do that, right? By purging out through your emotions what you need to let go, what you have resentment for, anger for. You've got to just release it and heal the core trauma. What was that core thing? It could be past life, but it's going to show up every lifetime that you have. And Spirit's saying that if you do, soulmates, right? So that soulmate, high-level soulmate, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, right? It's just a label. We make up labels to talk about how the energy presents itself, but you're going to find that one that is in resonation with you, that's such good resonation that you want to stay with this person for a while. So let's see one more deck. We'll get some more information here, and then we're going to, we'll look at our blocks. Right, so we kind of know what's in the energy. There's a huge amount of reunion energy here, huge amount of, if you look at it, we're weighted way over here. And if you're new to my reads, this side is always, the side where you've done the healing, you've done the work. And this side here is the transition. How do I get to it? And this side over here is, all right, here's where the challenges lie, but let's be aware of it. So if we look here, and this year, I think I'm the only one that uses the spread as I created it myself. So Spirit, what other energies do you want to show us about this connection and separation that we're channeling today? One more card, please. Okay. And so if we look at the energies on this, Spirit is giving us coffin, new beginnings, liberation, reborn, and transition, right? And so I'm going to put it over here. Normally we would see it over on this side, but what Spirit's saying is that when all this comes in, it can't be what was there before. That's dead. It's gone. It's going to be a new beginning, whether that's a new person or whether that's the same person coming back but changed. So those energies are there waiting for you to jump in, right? Indulgence, self-worth, value, time to heal, right? And this is where, how do we get there? We have to get to self-indulgence. In other words, take care of yourself, give yourself some self-love. If there's a piece of cheesecake, you want to eat it. If there's, ice cream, you want to eat it. If there's a movie you want to see, watch it. Do things that bring you joy for you, just by yourself, not with everybody else. Because as you do work on yourself, you start to heal. And it brings you closer to this, right? And then I think this one came out as well. It was face first, cutting ties, moving on, receive what you need, progression, and right. And that's what you need to do here. Cut the ties. Cut all the things that are holding you back, and I'll probably put it here. And as you cut all this stuff out, all this is here waiting for you. So much waiting for you. Person's reminiscing, right? Making memories, learning from the past, right? And this is really important. Learn from the past. Don't repeat it over and over again. Watch the patterns, be aware of the patterns. Once you're aware of the patterns and the triggers, you now have all the information you need to go in and heal. And separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you, right? And that's because you're in separation right now. For anybody who's watching this, this is a separation reading. And so this is just confirmation of that. So, if you do want to get into this healing, I will be releasing on my YouTube channel a 1010 healing. And on 11/11, actually probably 11/10 was just that Sunday before the 11/11 portal. My co-host that joins me a lot of times on reads is Spiritual Susan, and I will be hosting a group healing for the 11/11 portal. So mark your calendars for that Sunday, the 10th, where we're going to have a group healing. It will be geared towards love, soulmates, twin flame, because the 11/11 portal is what that's for. We can help you heal along that process. It will be a very deep healing. It will be donation based. If you're interested, just please reach out, and we'll give you all the information. Donation will be minimal, somewhere around $30, $35 minimum donation. We just ask you to reach into your heart for what you feel you can afford. We're not going to overcharge like everybody else does. That's not what we're here for. We're here to help people, and by helping people, you sometimes need to make things a little bit more affordable. All right, so let's get into, all right, we know kind of there's some things going on that are holding us back, but there's so much potential over here. What's blocking us from getting to this point? So, Spirit, I'd like to get the top 2, maybe 3 at most. And so Spirit's giving me 2 right off the bat. So I'll just take 3. Spirit always sneaks one in that I don't see. So Spirit saying addiction. You're either obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction. And obsession is one of these things that's called codependency, right? Where you feel that you have to do everything you can for fear of losing this person. So you throw everything out in your life and you focus only on this person. And when you do that focus, what happens is they run. Why do they run? Because they feel constrained by the energy that you're pushing out, because you're so addicted to them. You're so afraid. They know it and they have control over you. And you need to get rid of that addiction by being with yourself and being happy with yourself, alone or not. Body shame. You feel very unattractive to others. Work on accepting yourself, flaws and all. And you know what happens with body shame? Body shame is, and I'm just going to use weight as an example. That's not always the case. Some people, think they're too skinny. Some people, but when you start to put on weight, especially as you go through this journey, it's because you're trying to protect your heart. And you're trying to put a barrier between your hearts, like a wall. So you're trying to protect that energy because you feel that, people are stabbing your heart. And as you heal, what will happen is that you will reach whatever your natural body weight is. And there's no judgment on what that is. Everybody has a different need for that body weight. For some people, it's a lot larger than others. For some people, it's a lot skinnier. No judgment which way, because, each person has beauty in themselves, but they have to see it. But if you're not happy with the way you look, whether you feel you're too skinny or too large, it's still the same problem. You need to fix what's inside of yourself, what you're trying to protect within the heart, to kind of help that out, right? So body shame needs to be dealt with. And last but not least, excuses, right? And this is one we all fall into, right? You have so many reasons that it never works out. Find the reasons it can, right? Because when you are finding that experience of trauma over and over again, right, you get tired. You're like, I'm never going to fall in love. Love is never going to find me, because every time I do it, something else happens. Oh, this one was a narcissist. That one was a narcissist. We all use narcissists. It's another default excuse for why things didn't work. Well, who cares? You actually attracted that narcissist. So why did you do that? Now let's figure out how to heal that. And how do you heal it? By getting out of the excuses and understanding where your core traumas sit in the awareness, and then actively trying to heal that. If you do want to get onto that path, I do have tons of free stuff over on my Silver Fox Spiritual on YouTube. There's tons of free light language. I do personal light language healings as well for anybody who's looking to really, dig deep into what their personal issues are, and I bring down the codes that are required to help you. I'm not going to heal you specifically. I'm going to bring you down codes so that you can heal yourself. No healer heals anybody. They just bring down the codes that's required for you to start putting things into your awareness that allow you to heal. And you can have miraculous results, or you cannot. It's whether you allow it, right? But if you are ready to really embrace that journey and to get into a place where you can really be hyper aware of the things that you need, and that gets brought in through the energetics. Come down, request a personal light language. I do them at a fee, but I also have a lot of free stuff out there. I'm probably one of the largest libraries of light language out there. And then if you come on my lives, which are Mondays and Wednesday nights, as well as Sunday mornings, we've been doing some with Susan and I. We'll usually get one free light language activation in each of the lives, plus you can ask a few questions. So with that, let's see what messages of encouragement we get from our future higher self. Okay, future higher self is giving us two things of encouragement. Big dreams are built by those who do work, right? Healing is a choice. You either choose to heal or you choose to, keep on going back to the hamster wheel. Look for the signs that will guide you to the destiny you have known all along, right? And we're already being told this, that you're being guided to that journey. So your spirit, your higher self, the one that's already gotten through all this, already knows you know how to do it. Now the choice is it going to be in this lifetime? It's going to be in the next lifetime. That part, it's up to you, because we are in a free will universe. So although that version of you has figured it out, you may not have, and you may not be ready to do it, but you have to choose, right? Healing doesn't happen until you choose. If you just sit there and wait for the healing to come to you, it's not. You're going to need to be in that space of saying, I want. Once you say you want, once you make that decision to heal, then guess what? You will then be moved to a timeline where that healing can occur. So with that, we are going to look at timing, right? It's the thing that everybody wants to know. When am I going to meet that person? When am I going to get to this Shangri-La over here? And Spirit, give me, if we decide to do the work, when will we see? Oh, Spirit gave us 3, so let's see what we got. It's unusual for Spirit to give me this many for a timing card. But let's see what, and they just flew out of the deck, so Spirit really wants you to know. Let's see what the timing looks like. So Spirit's saying, allow things to come, right? And how do you allow things to come? By intending, right? You start to do the work, right? So in order to allow things to come, you have to start your healing process. It means you have to allow it. You have to open those doors. You can't keep them closed. And if you do, between today and spring, so not too far away, we got a season away, you're, actually 2 seasons away, so, 6 months. Between now and 6 months, all of these wonderful things can happen to you and can come to you, because it's all super positive here. This is not a long time, but you need to allow. So that's the message for today. I hope that has resonated with all of you. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Come visit on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays for when I go live with questions and answers, and I can do some mini reads. And if you're looking for your own reading, reach out for your own reading or healing. Just find me in the contacts or DM me. With that, for those of you who are watching on YouTube or Instagram on the replay, come on down to TikTok and see us live every once in a while. And if I get enough subscribers on the other 2 platforms, I'll start doing some lives there as well. So have a great day. I hope you've all enjoyed the read, and let me know in the comments if it resonated. Cheers.